Hey guys, I'm going to share with you my experience at a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat. The specific retreat that I went to was the 10-day, oh, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. The 10-day Cancun retreat that happened last December 2024. Um, Oh my God, where do I even begin? Okay, the first thing I think that everyone going to a retreat should know is that you are going to be going to share a space with the most amazing people. Sitting in the hall, um, something that I believe for me is that people who you see in life who are struggling with the most challenging health conditions, or people you see with loads of different challenges that people might look at and look down on in a way. I think some people might. They are souls who've agreed to come in to face these challenges. So in many ways, they are the strongest souls. They agreed to come in and experience this. So we should be, when you see somebody having a challenge in life, you should say to them, thank you for agreeing to come in to this challenge so that you could evolve human consciousness from that perspective. And that is the feeling that you feel in the hall. Like the Heelys, they're called Heelys, which I'm not that into. I don't like the term Healy because maybe it's my perception of the word, but I'm not big on the word Healy. I like to think that we're all healers, really, because we all heal ourselves innately. We've just been disconnected from our innate power to heal ourselves. But the people who are quote unquote healies are cherished and loved and respected and built up. And I love that. I love that they are seen as like the heroes, which I believe that they are. Um, so that is something that I love about the Dr. Joe retreats. I love the community energy. It fits right for me. It feels like we are seeing things in more of an evolved way, which we really are. Um, the second thing I um, experienced at a Dr. Joe retreat was the way that reality got very, very, very fluid. It's a mixture between how much you're meditating, the fact that you're meditating with others and you're in this container, but also I think it's a mix of the fact that you're in the unknown, you're in a hotel, you're in this space that's not your home, you're outside of your regular programming. That concoction, that mixture of being in the unknown whilst meditating, whilst submerging yourself in the science and surrounding yourself with other people who are into the same things as you, who believe the same things as you, who are getting past the limitations that some may still be living in the physical world. Something about that concoction makes reality very fluid. For instance, I'll tell you a little story. On maybe the third or fourth day, you do like, the schedule is like meditation, lecture, break, meditation, lecture, break. It's like breaks and lectures and meditations. Anyway, on the third or fourth day, I think it was after a meditation, so maybe it was the first break or the second break. I went to my room because I wanted to do some silent meditating because that's my usual style of meditation. And I sat on my bed, and this was another thing at these retreats. If you can't meditate outside of one of these retreats, don't worry. once you're there, every time you close your eyes, you will be deep in a meditation. It's a lot easier to get deeper in this container that Joe creates. But every time I close my eyes, I would be deep in a meditation. And this particular meditation, I was in my hotel room, closed my eyes on the bed, and closed my eyes on the bed. And I remember just sensing the beach, just gently sensing the beach. I had a beachfront room, so my attention just went to the beach, and then I came back, and then before I knew it, I was standing at the beach, my feet in the sand. I looked down. Oh my God, I get a wave of excitement just thinking about it. I looked down, my feet in the sand, looked up at the sea. I was like, interesting. And then I remembered that I was meditating on my bed. But this is the thing, I don't think that I actually was conscious enough to take myself back to the hotel room, because I managed to go further into the experience to the point where I could acknowledge that I was meditating in my room. And then I was like, oh my God, this is me in the quantum realm right now at the beach. And then I was like, okay, seeing as I'm meditating, because this is technically like a lucid dream at this point, I was like, well, jump in the sea then. So I jumped in the sea and became the sea. And I felt all of the life in the sea, and I just felt amazing. And then, yeah, and then I just sat there for who knows how long, experiencing this amazing vastness. Um, but you kind of start slipping between all of these different realities. Um, and why is that so important? Why is that so amazing? That is so amazing because the more fluid you allow physical reality to become, the more interchangeable between the dream space, the quantum space, and experiences you have in the quantum realm and your physical reality, the more fluid and the more you jump between the two, the more you can change what you depict as your physical reality, the more fluid and interchangeable that reality will become. Let me explain that in a simpler way. The more real your dreams get, the more you experience another form of physical reality in your dream state, the less physical your physical realities are going to come, and the more creative power and control and the more fluid your reality is going to be, which means you can change it more. You can go and have these other experiences in the quantum realm that feel like you're literally having a physical experience. They say that Nicholas Tesla used to create his machines as a vision, and he used to literally run the whole machine and it would work. But he got so good at it that he could test machines as visions, and he could actually get under them, fix them, change the parts as visions before he ever even picked up a single tool. So he was literally visualizing these machines that was so real that they were real. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, I remember being, after I had that experience on the bed, I remember going to the lecture hall, and I kept having these moments where I was like questioning if I was in meditation or actually there. Like, I remember pinching myself quite often to be like, am I in meditation right now, or am I actually here? Okay, that hurt. Yeah, okay, I'm actually in the lecture. Like, I kept being in the lecture and being like, am I missing a lecture? I'd be like, no, I'm here in the lecture. So things just got really warpy. Um, but what are the outcomes of having a container where reality becomes more fluid? Let me tell you a story about a woman I met on the last day, and I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning this story. I'm going to tell it very generally. So I met a lady on the last day who, going to the retreat, could not walk, or at least, well, she needed things to help her walk. And on the last day, she was at the beach, and suddenly she realized that she had walked to the beach with no help. She was absolutely fine. And when I met her, she was walking, and you would never know that she ever couldn't walk. She just forgot that she couldn't walk. She had, her reality had got so fluid that she literally just slipped into a reality where she could walk just so naturally. And she wasn't even that like excited about it. She was just like, yeah, I can just walk now. Which and things like that happen all of the time throughout the whole retreat. People are, there is such a high vibrational container where Joe keeps the vibe so high, and you're being given the science behind it. So your beliefs are all loosening up, but also you're meditating. So your reality is loosening up, and you're also in the unknown, which means you literally slip through eyes of needles all of the time. You literally just reality is not physical anymore at these retreats. And you really get a taste of how powerful human beings really are and how much potential we actually have when we can acknowledge the fact that reality is simply energy that we have defined as physical and permanent and challenging and trying and changing, but really that's our own creation that we can change whenever we want. I'm going to share one last thing. Also, what I learned at a Dr. Joe retreat is you don't have to be at a Dr. Joe retreat to experience a Dr. Joe retreat, even though I think everyone should go and experience the sheer intensity of it. If you dedicate yourself to Dr. Joe's work outside of the retreat, there is no reason why you cannot receive the benefits of a retreat at home. If you are meditating on a regular basis, doing the science, and if you are allowing things that want to leave your reality to simply leave and not be so attached to reality the way it is, there is no reason why you cannot experience a Dr. Joe retreat every day in your life. You just have to allow reality to be more fluid and to keep questioning your own beliefs. What do I have to believe is true for me to be creating this in my reality? Keep questioning your reality, and it will start to free up. I may do another video with more, because there's so much more. I haven't even spoke about the interdimensional beings. So I may do another video, but that is all I have for now. Lots of love.